Hello everyone! A little while ago I had posted a video that got a lot of likes on it for something I had discovered in the last couple of days, which was using Kwikseal and acrylic paint together to make a very flexible paint. But I am just going to do some experiments with it to see what kind of ratios it can use, what surfaces it can go on. So I've got a spare bit of foam here, and I'm going to divide it into three sections. One is going to be just plain, and then I'm going to heat seal some, and then heat seal and Plastidip another section. And then across there, I'm going to do a control with just the paint, and then a 1-to-1 ratio with Kwikseal and paint, and then a 1-to-2 ratio, so 1 part Kwikseal and 2 parts paint, and then a 1-to-3 ratio as well. And just compare a whole grid of them, so we have 12 different tests. So I'm going to get to that right now. Now I'm adding just a little bit of water to water it down a bit so that it goes on nicer. Right, so we have the 1-to-1. Now it's time for a 2-to-1. And now 3-to-1. As my control, of course, I have to do just some straight paint. And there it is. All I have to do now is let it dry. I am going to label it on the sides so that I do not forget which one is which. Another thing here, just so that you can see, it took me 13 minutes to record this video from the time that I started this first stuff. It is still a bit workable. It's not that great, but you know, I imagine a bit of water here, and it'll loosen up again, and you can still be able to use it. This is the 1-to-1 I have here. 2-to-1 is really good, and of course 3-to-1 is still real nice. We'll see what happened to that when it dries. And while I've been waiting for this to dry, and it almost is, I've been doing some other detail work on my daughter's armor. It says to allow it to dry for at least 2 hours, and it has. So I'm going to start doing the stress tests on this. So if you remember, our columns are plain untreated foam, heat sealed foam, and then heat sealed and Plastidipped foam. I'm going to cut it horizontally because this is the 1-to-1, the 2-to-1, the 3-to-1, and our control. So first I will just write down. I decided to spin the camera around to make it easier to see and so that I could actually use the light too. So we've got our control and the untreated foam. Okay, so you've got some cracking there. That's no surprise at all. We all know that the paint does crack. Yeah, see, there it is. And it looks like it's pretty much the same, except that it went on to the Plastidipped the best. So we've got our best color here. I did the best I could to paint them all the same, but it looks like we've got this progression here. So we still got wrinkles, but it's not bad. It's not too bad. It's definitely worse when you've got it completely untreated. So the Plastidipped is the best for plain acrylic. Okay, let's do the 3-to-1. I see a little bit of cracking there. Okay, so this one's doing much better. This is the heat sealed with the 3-to-1. Very minor cracking there. And with Plastidipped, there is none at all. I'm going to pull it. Yeah, the 3-to-1 looks like it's good enough. I actually thought that it was going to be too thin. So our 2-to-1, whoa. Okay. It's kind of behaving the same way. Doesn't seem to be doing as well as the 3-to-1. I wonder if that was just, who knows, just bad on my part, or let's try the 1-to-1. You can see here, obviously, that the color is much thinner on the 1-to-1 than the 2 and the 3. So I did use the clear Kwikseal on this, and I thought that the color would all come out the same, but it looks like it did not. So this is a 1-to-1 ratio. Okay, it didn't go on very well. You can see a couple of spots there, but the 1-to-1 ratio on completely untreated foam is working really well still. Okay, there, a bit came off finally. All right, so on just heat sealed, I'm giving this one the hardest test, it seems. Yeah, that's doing okay too. So as long as it's heat sealed, it goes on. And then we got Plastidipped. Try twisting it. Okay, look at that. It's a tiny bit wrinkled. Oh yeah, look at that. That brought the wrinkles right out again. So the color isn't as good. I imagine a couple more layers would help. Yeah, this seems to be cracking. That's funny that the 2-to-1 or the 1-to-2 seems to be cracking more. And the 3-to-1 seems just fine on the Plastidipped. Let's give this a good twist. Yeah, it's a little wrinkled. And the heat gun pretty much brought it right out. You're never going to do that with your armor, right? Yeah, see, it's gotten a tiny little bit of flaking there, but none of it's coming off. It's just cracking. But, I mean, we put it through a pretty heavy test there. So I think that's a pretty successful test. I mean, it does go to show that Plastidipped really does help. I mean, this is the 0. This is the just plain acrylic by itself with heat seal and Plastidipped, and already it's doing wonders. But the 1-to-1 and even the 3-to-1 seem to do really, really well. And there you have it. All my tests are done, and it seems that the best one was the 3-to-1 ratio, or 1-to-3 of the Kwikseal to paint, and done on the heat treated with Plastidipped. It makes sense. You would think that that's what it would be. Honestly, I thought that the 1-to-1 ratio would be the best, but you do get better color with the 3-to-1, and it's just as robust. So yeah, I've got some nice wrinkles in here. Treat that with the heat gun. And they came right out. I love it. And everything that I do from now on, all the painting I do is going to be like this. And so there you go. I hope that was informative, more informative for you than my first video. And stay tuned for more.